Hey everybody, it's a Chess Rivals. We are here. We're here to get going. It's me versus International Master John Bartholomew today, where it all started. I started this whole Chess Rivals thing many moons ago, and since that day, John has been kicking my ass all over the place. I think I've won a couple times. I don't know. It doesn't feel real good, but let's see. Let's see how it goes right here, right now. Getting all set up here. We're gonna play a best of 7 3-minute chess today. Best of 7 3-0. There's our chess rivals. Black versus white, good versus evil. You decide, right? Hashtag Team Scandy. Hashtag. Do I have a team? Is there like a Team Rensch? Will somebody who's on my team like start a hashtag for me? We got Team Scandy in honor of the horrible opening, the Scandinavian that John Bartholomew plays. And then we got no hashtag for Papa Bear here. All right, so let's go play a friend. Let's go find Finzo905 here on the server and give him a good old challenge. I don't see him here. He's not in my recent opponents list either because we haven't played in a while. So let's see. Let me go search for him in the top players list. Wow, there's a lot of strong players on right now. That's why it's hard to find. Okay, so here we go. We pull Johnny Boy up. It's 3-0 chess. It is rated. It is time to rock and roll. The challenge has been sent. The match will begin, and we are off. Here we go. Team Scandy will get their wish, I assume, the moment John plays d5. And it is on. Nope. He decides he's up for a Sicilian today. Well, you got to stay true to your hashtag, John. Come on, man. Right? All right, so we have a con, in all seriousness here, a con Sicilian. Let's see how it goes here. So we have knight f6 early. This is pretty much all theory. Not pretty much. It's exactly what it is. It is all theory. And I don't always remember what line I like to play here. I'm going to play h3 early. Kind of mix things up a little bit. Okay, so d6 is played, and now I can go and just go grab myself a Maroczy bind structure here. This makes sense for him, so I'm going to back up my bishop. And then I'm actually going to just back up my knight here and clear way for the idea of bishop f4. This is a thing, believe it or not. This is a thing that people do in this line. And now I have to be ready for the fact, maybe I should have played this whole rookie one idea first, because now I'm losing a little bit of time. But okay, it's still playable and sort of typical. Maybe not the best Maroczy bind white's ever achieved in a con Sicilian, but there is pressure on the d6 pawn. That is the truth. And now I'm going to defend the threat there with b3, fully expecting him to play the move he just did, anticipating that that I could maybe play the move knight e3, which is going to be interesting. I guess I'm going to go for it. Time to pull the focus here together. Time to pull the focus together here. If he takes c4, I take, and then he doesn't win the e4 pawn. If knight e4, bishop e4, cb5, okay, so no, he just goes immediately in for b4, which is another way to go about things, because he's going to win the e4 pawn now in exchange for the b pawn, or he's not going to do any such things, and he's just going to sit on his position. I'll back up. I will call his bluff, because at the very least here, I don't know that this is the end of the world for me. If knight g4, I guess I can't really allow that. But I want to play knight to g4 here in a moment. I feel like this whole transition could have been worse for me. Let's see, I'll call his bluff. Does he want to give me the dark squared bishop? Somehow I doubt it. Somehow I doubt it. And now if I play f4, I kick his knight back. That could get real dangerous for him real quick, huh? Wow, look how double-edged this position is going to get. Seriously nutty now. Takes, queen takes, bishop b2, queen takes h5. As long as I don't get checkmated on the diagonals, right, I should have some chance to hold on. So if he wants to take, we're going to go for this. Interesting, huh? Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think it's over. Well, I don't know where that went wrong for him. Honestly, I felt like I was on the ropes for the majority of that game. That's the honest truth. I don't know exactly where that went right for me. I mean, okay, here he blundered 97 check, but at this point he's already down the pawn. So if he takes the knight instead, I can take, and I'm up a pawn, and he has some compensation on the queen side, but it's not that simple. So I think he's already worse here. It felt like the critical moment came earlier, and he should have tried to punish me for how I overextended and maybe take on e4, and I'm sure he's probably thinking the same thing right now. And I at this point, I already felt good. If anything, I wanted more tactics to happen here and flex the muscles of the king side, but I don't know that there was ever really enough. So in the end, we did what we had to do to defend his threats on my light square pawns, and eventually it was enough, apparently. So here we go. Maybe we'll get a Nimzo. No, he wants to play knight f3 on move 2, and I will gladly participate in this adventure. This is like a one cheese adventure. Swiss cheese. You ever had Swiss cheese on a pizza? You haven't lived. No, but seriously, this is a solo cheese adventure right now. We're not really that worried about that e4 move here. We're just going to kind of develop the same way we would otherwise. Doesn't change much about this line from our perspective. Okay, well now he's saying he doesn't mind giving me the bishop pair. Oh, no, he does. He doesn't want that. Okay. Wow. All in, huh? Interesting. It's a very risky play because playing playing e5 is going to give me counterplay every time. So it's a very risky play. If he does nothing, I might consider sacrificing the piece on d5. Takes, takes, takes. Oh, he gets g6, so no, I can't. I can't really consider that. I'd like to play e5. Takes and rook takes, huh? If there weren't immediate tactics on d6, I might go for it. But I don't really know that there are. Let's call his bluff. Let's see if there are immediate tactics, because in the end, my bishop on b7 is coming to life if he takes on e6. So he decides that it's not worth his risk because of exactly those reasons. So one question for me is, do I want to take, or do I want to let him take and give me the c5 square? Both are possibilities. I guess I'm going to end up taking it. And now I'm going to get my king off. Avoiding tactics. The thing I'm most worried about right now, honestly, is time. It may cause me to do something rash, because I don't just want to sit on the position. But I may not have a choice. I may just have to sit tight and be worse. We're going to defend. And we're going to play knight to d7 so that we can go after the pawn. Oop, that would have been really bad. Now we got to push this. No choice. For sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, coming unraveled right now. Coming unraveled it is. All right. Well, something went wrong there, and John strikes back to even the match. That felt good for me for the start. You know, the opening was going well. I guess I played f5 really aggressively, kind of feeling like I had no choice. But even after it, I thought that maybe there would be some interesting dynamic stuff here, you know? Like, what if I just took? Huh. And if he takes, I take. And if he takes, I'm down the exchange, but I've got some counterplay. And it's certainly crazy double-edged, but the other thing is that maybe I should just sit on the position further, play queen to d8, threat the pawn. So I think I got a little bit panicked there. I think I pushed myself because I saw the sort of the writing on the wall with me getting slower and slower, or sorry, not necessarily slower and slower, but me getting lower and lower on time. I had been playing slower up to that point. So interesting stuff that I was not able to sit on the position, or at least play a little faster in the earlier going. So let's see. I think I'll switch it up here. Play a Verisov, perhaps. I haven't played the Verisov against Johnny Boy in some time, so we'll see how that goes. We'll play the crazy stuff, playing the all-in variation. The all-in variation, as I call it. course, it's not the first time we've played this way. I wish I could just go to Sacktown, huh? There's just not enough, is there? Yeah. Don't do anything crazy. No need right now. It's hard to sit on the queen side when he has more space. I feel like he controlled the cards there with knight c4 threats, b4 threats, so obviously a4 is an ultra-aggressive move. I'm aware of that. Kind of a risky move for sure. Queen to b4 is looking decently for him. Queen to b4, if I take b5, he takes b2. I take his knight on a5. He takes on c3 with the rook. I have to move the queen. He can give check, and h1 falls. So queen to b4 is a bit of a problem. Maybe I would have had to play rook h2. Who knows? All right, well, no point in thinking about it anymore. What about b3? Knight to b2. Queen to d2. Queen to b4. Queen takes. Rook takes c3. Castles. Can also just take on b5 first, huh? I think I'm going to do that. Interesting move if knight c4 is rook takes a6, huh? No, I guess it's not that interesting, actually. Not that interesting after all. Not happy with how this turned out at all. Darn it. I guess this is kind of forced, huh? I'm losing. Became a bit of a messy affair there. I mean, the final position is a draw, of course, but I didn't deserve the final position. You know, perpetual check. But okay, that's life, right? That's life in the big city. Let's do it again. Not the best opening there. Again, the Verisov. I need to think about my choices there. These rivals, you know, they tend to have a real chess feel, right? So you kind of want to play better openings than you might normal blitz stuff. But okay, I mean, John obviously let this position get out of hand, but I mean, you know, the final position being a draw doesn't matter. He knew he had me on time, so that's part of the strategy. Um, the uh, the game itself was won and lost way back earlier. I made the best I could out of a bad attack, right? But I needed to clean up my act earlier. So okay, we move on. We move on, and we will play this again. This was a good opening last time, and I'll go for it again. So this time maybe I'll be a little more aggressive in my. Oops. This time maybe I'll be a little more aggressive in my diagonal approach. We'll see. I guess I'll go eliminate that knight now, since he gave me the chance to do it. It's a mistake because the bishop is just not the most useful piece, that's all. He kind of knows that, so that means we get positions like this where black's pieces are doing a little better than they might normally be able to do in this kind of line, that's all. And one idea now is g5. I think I'm going to do it. It's a little bit double-edged, but it's the way to try to play on the king side and expose the dark squares. Again, one of the advantages of eliminating the knight is that you might be able to play for a plane like this. Yeah, so now he's in it to win it as well. He's risking it. We're all risking it with this kind of line. A couple different ways to play. I'm going to go with this line. Try to take back on f5 with the knight, I guess. That's my idea. The problem is my queen is not ideally placed in this kind of position, you know. She's a little bit astray. So that can hurt things if you're not careful. He's going to play bishop to d3 next, so anticipating his next move, I must. If rook f6, bishop d3, double the rooks, he takes e7. Right? It's not ideal. It's not ideal, is it? Darn it, and I'm getting down on time, big time. I don't know what to do here. Eek. I'm going to go for this line here, but I don't think it's good. I really, really don't. I kind of got to do it, though. 'Cause, 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 'cause that was his best. Taking e7 was definitely better, but I've taken so much time to get into this position. Now it doesn't matter. Darn it, darn it, darn it, come on. Just not enough time. That's frustrating. Yeah, I'm just busted. Again, not on the board though. Just time. Busted on time here. And now I'm falling apart. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got to speed up, right? So far, I've been down on time. At least that game I had to speed up. The other game, he just kind of took advantage of my poor opening in the Verisov. Right? Trying to remember. But okay. Can't think on that now beyond the fact that I just have to focus on the next game in the next moment. He's going back to old number one. He wants to play his con system again. Why not? It wasn't bad for him, right? Was not the worst thing that could have happened to his openings. Though I'm going to play this a little differently now. Maybe I should have played c5 there. If c5, knight e5 takes d6. Rook take. Oh, why didn't I play c5? Ugh. That was a missed opportunity. That was a missed opportunity for sure. Yeah, I think c5 was a good move there. Now I feel like I should. I have to go for this. Backs up, huh? Honey Badger doesn't even care. I guess we're going to come around to the king side, aren't we? This is going to be fun. I wish there was a knockout blow. I don't see it. It's a little surprising. So I'm going to go with the bishop. Sorry, with the pawn. Wow. This is a very, very risky way for him to play, right? I gotta find a way in, or it's all over. Let's go here. Now we'll check with the pawn. Pawn or the knight. The knight might be interesting. It would be threatening d6, but I don't see the follow-up. But at least it keeps his bishop out. I don't know. I don't know which was better. I don't know which one was better. Probably at this point it really doesn't matter. Ah. Yeah. Just over. Blunder my queen, and with it, the match. That was kind of a fun game. I don't think that that was good for him up until this point here. Pawn takes was a blunder. I missed f6. So if I had played queen takes, knight e5, queen up, you know, the attack is still on. Obviously, f6 isn't effective after queen takes because I could just back up the bishop somewhere, and this is a tough position for him. I mean, his queen and rook are out of play. There's a lot of pressure on the king. No material deficit for my attack. So I just got way overexcited with pawn takes, and partly because I didn't want him to gain a tempo in defending. The line I calculated was pawn takes, knight here, bishop f6. Where I'm threatening bishop takes e5 and Bob's your uncle. And so I was like, this is a tough position for him. Like, how does he deal with the threat? So take with the pawn. But I just didn't see f6. So one of the biggest mistakes you can make when doing an attack is calculating the lines that work for you instead of the lines that don't work for you. And you always have to anticipate that if you're calculating a line that works for you, probably your opponent, who's just as good as you, is not going to play that line. So you have to ask yourself, like, what is he going to play? Okay, that works for me. So trust yourself and look for a line that is different and different. And eventually you'll do a better job of finding your opponent's defensive resources. So it's easy for me to say here in a blitz game, but I didn't do it. I mean, it's a blitz game. But it is still a very important lesson and a really good takeaway that you want to make sure you don't calculate lines that work for you when you're in an attack, or you know, you calculate lines that work for you, but you can't be focused on that solely. It's just, you know, it's immature chess, and it's something that you can't do against a strong player. So queen takes would have been better, but, you know, once again, you know, the position isn't over by any means. I think I'm better in this one, but I still would have been down in the match, and once again, John gets the best of me in Chess Rivals. We appreciate it. We respect it. We salute, and we look for another opportunity to right the ship once again next time we have a chance. These games are all fun and close. So John is just that much stronger than me at this point, although to start the match here, I was doing pretty well, huh? I guess as far as our average rating goes on chess.com. But he overtook me with those several wins in a row. He's back on track. Good job, John, and we'll see you next time on Chess Rivals.